Center for Cardiovascular and Metabolic Neuroscience at UCL builds on a very rich tradition. So it's not going to be an exaggeration to say that all experimental physiology in the UK started at UCL and then spread across the country.
The real-world problems that we are addressing are diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular disease, so the major killers in our Western societies. And what we're trying to achieve is, in the first instance, a deep understanding of the underlying physiology of these connected diseases.
So within my lab, we're really interested in how the brain processes and receives and processes sensory information from the gastrointestinal tract, and how it uses that information to guide behavior, and particularly eating behavior choices. So we're trying to understand, why do people develop obesity, and how can we develop more effective and better tolerated treatments for obesity. We had a paper out relatively recently that looked at the mechanisms by which these GLP-1 based drugs like Ozempic actually work. And there was a long-held idea that they activated a certain population of cells within the brain, and we showed that actually they work via completely independent circuits, which means that it's actually potentially possible to target those cells which release GLP-1 themselves and make better versions of the drug in future.
More recently, we are working on understanding of the beneficial effects of exercise. If you look through all the conditions which kill us in the 21st century, like cancer, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative disease, one treatment which works against all of these conditions is exercise, right? We can understand the mechanisms of how exercise exerts its beneficial effects. We can potentially develop treatments which mimic the beneficial effects for exercise for the individuals who are not able or not willing to exercise.
Talking only about my lab, which of course only a small part of CCMN, with our focus on GLP-1, there is now for us particularly the neurodegenerative side, which is very interesting. So there's quite a bit of preclinical research that suggests that GLP-1 can be beneficial to prevent or to slow neurodegeneration. Now, with the knowledge that we have gained over the last decade about how exactly GLP-1 works in the brain and how these systems work, we are really in a prime position, and particularly also together with Alex Gorin's research on the vasculature in the brain, combining all this, we should be in a prime position of really making an impact in that field.
I think it gives me a lot of hope that, particularly with the sort of really brilliant, creative, early career researchers we have here in CCMN, the kind of research they're doing on all these questions can actually lead to life-changing therapies for people with all sorts of different conditions.